Okay, it is happening. I thought we could do a sit down girl chat video as well as a bit of a day in the life, and also what I make for my dinner tonight, like a cook with me. And I haven't done a juicy girl chat in a little while now. It's probably one of my favourite videos to film. So I asked you guys over on my Instagram a couple weeks back to send some juicy questions, and then I've also done an updated one today. I put up another poll on my Instagram, so I just thought I'll grab the juiciest ones out of those and we'll jump straight into it. I hope you're having the most amazing January so far. I hope you're not putting too much pressure on yourself. I know this time of year can be a little bit overwhelming. I feel like we've all been feeling a bit of that lately. I think because we have that nice time like throughout sort of Christmas, New Year, where we're just chilled out with family, and then it feels like all hell's blazing. We're all like trying to work towards our goals at a million miles per hour, and just a little reminder to be kind to yourself in the process. Places like the gym aren't going anywhere, and it's all about building the sustainable small habits that are going to make it a lot easier to maintain, say, like your goals, and to maintain getting towards your end goal. We'll jump straight into the questions. What have we got? These do make me a little bit nervous sometimes, but I'm not holding back today. Can I ask your weight? I haven't weighed myself since before Christmas, and I've definitely probably put on weight over Christmas. I would say anywhere between like 59 kg, 61 kg kind of mark. I tend to fluctuate between like 58 to 62 kg kind of thing. I feel like I notice a difference in my actual body composition even with just like 2 kg, which is quite interesting. And I feel like I know sort of like where I put on weight first and where I lose weight first. The first place I put on weight is my inner thighs, like, you know, that bit right at the top. So random, like it's literally always there first. The last place I lose weight is my face, but you can't spot reduce fat because we all gain and lose weight in different like areas first. Next question, you look happy, are you? So I would describe my like state of mind. I feel really content at the moment, and that's probably my favorite way to feel, because I feel like, you know, when you're like super ecstatic or whatever, like I feel like that kind of sense of like ecstatic, hyped, it doesn't last, not without sounding morbid, but that doesn't tend to last that long. So I much prefer just feeling like a sense of calm in myself, and I definitely feel that way. I've got some personal goals that I want to work on. Like I feel like I've had some blocks when it comes to, you know, just like personal growth, like things that have come up in my work life, like family stuff that I notice about myself that I'm really excited to work on this year. And to me that looks like working maybe with, I don't know what kind of therapist or coach, but I definitely want to work through some of that, because I've tried doing lots of journaling stuff and I still notice little things come up, and I want to explore to like why I do that, if it's something from childhood or whatnot. But overall I feel so content and grateful every day. I wake up feeling so much gratitude, and comparing my mental health to this time last year, it's like two different people. It's funny, isn't it? I don't think I quite realised this time last year how unhappy I was. Not necessarily, I definitely don't think I was depressed or anything like that, but I felt so lost and just felt like I was letting life happen to me rather than making a choice and action things, and I feel like I was living in a lot of fear. So have you ever lost your period due to over exercising / under eating / not enough body fat percentage? So I've never experienced losing my period completely. I definitely have had like periods of time where, say, my period's been a couple weeks late if I've been super stressed like with work, or if I've had a lot of personal stuff going on, like my period can sometimes be late, or if I've just been absolutely hammering my workouts. But I've never lost my period, and I definitely take that as an indication that I was doing something not right, or that's like your body's way of telling you like something isn't regulating properly with your hormones. And I definitely seek medical advice, as in booking with my GP if I was to lose my period or anything like that. Over exercising can cause you to lose your period if you're doing way too much and not giving your body enough chance to rest. I've never lost my period from under eating or not enough body fat percentage. I've never put myself in a really low body fat percentage. I don't even know what body fat percentage I am. I've never tracked that, or I haven't even used calipers before thinking about it. But I remember a while ago I got asked like what my body fat percentage was on a Q&A. What's your best feature both physically and mentally? Oh, this is a really good question. Let me think. Physically, I would say I love my legs because they carry me so many places, and I feel like I've got strong, good legs. Then mentally, I would say my favourite feature is my resilience / persistence. I feel like I never give up if I've got something planted in my mind and it aligns, like say with my values or something, and that's been such a consistent theme. I feel like in school I wasn't particularly academic academic, but I didn't give up and I managed to get into university with like the grades that I got. And I've not always found things the easiest in an academic sense. I've had to work really hard. I prefer being hands-on. Oh my God, there is a question. I got, you're British, so F you. Okay, moving on. That is a random one. Tips for growing an IG account seem so hard nowadays, even with trending content. Yes, completely know what you mean. I think Instagram itself as a platform is going through like its own thing. I think they're trying to figure out their identity and doing a lot of testing. I can't keep up with the amount of updates on Instagram. I think you just got to stay as authentic to yourself in there, as in it can be really easy, and I've done it myself. You jump on, say, trending content, but then it's a bit of a vicious cycle because some stuff doesn't always trend or some stuff takes you away from like your purpose. Whereas I think if you just stay consistent with the content you enjoy, keep showing up, doing research, using like trending audios to the content that you want to put out there, and just making sure you're putting out value. But the most important thing is to enjoy what you're doing. Otherwise it's just going to turn into such a chore and not be enjoyable. But I think being consistent is the most important thing with Instagram. Like when I first started out, I think for maybe, it's same with YouTube to be honest, but Instagram was always the hardest one for me, like as in to grow on. And I feel like I grew from just being consistent. I'm showing up every single day. Like I've posted on Instagram pretty much every single day for like maybe 2-3 years kind of thing, religiously. But I do think that strategy that might be outdated now. I think it's more about like Instagram apparently really like quality content, you know, so like more like aesthetic stuff I've heard lately. So they push more content that's like cleaner looking, and I noticed that brands tend to ask for more specific content. But I just think it's also really important to stay true to what you want to put out there and making sure you're adding value like with whatever content you're creating. Next is how to stay in calorie deficit at weekends. So this one's a really good question and something I struggled with when I first started out with my nutrition. I'd find it really easy to stick to my meals and whatnot throughout the week. I find it really easy to stick to home cooking throughout the week, and then I would get a lot of takeaways and whatnot on a weekend. So I tend to just try and aim to get as much whole foods throughout the weekend. So say if I'm eating out, I will try and base my meals still to make sure I'm getting in like healthy fats, complex carbs, and like high protein. So still going for meals that include those things like chicken breast, or I absolutely love sea bass, and just doing it that way so that I can still reach what goal or have an idea of what I'm aiming for with my meal. It just depends on your personal goals, but the most important thing is you don't want to start a restrictive diet or nutrition because it's going to be so hard to maintain. So for me, eating out is still really important to be able to do. I wouldn't want to live a lifestyle where I can't go for a meal out on a Saturday and all I can ever do is cook from home, say. Have you ever had trust issues in relationships? Yes, when I was younger, definitely never ever with Mason. And I'm at the age now, if I was ever in a relationship where I had trust concerns, I would just have to exit. Like to me, trust is everything, and that's what your relationship runs on. So we're so open and honest, and I feel like that's the key to a long-lasting and healthy relationship. But when I was at 15, 16, I got in a relationship. I wouldn't even call it a relationship now because, you know, you have them relationships where you think it's love when you're younger, and then when you actually realise what love is, you quickly realise, oh my God, like I wouldn't call that relationship. It was so toxic when I look back. But anyway, it did teach me a lot about trust, and I was like lied to so much throughout that relationship. And it was the first time in my life, especially being so young, where I experienced like such deceit or such just toxicity. And you know, when it's the first time that's happened to you, I still remember feeling so heartbroken, or just like, wow, like someone can really lie to you who you spent your time and energy with. At the same time, I remember being in pain with just like more so just, wow, like I didn't realise people can be so cruel. That taught me a lot, and I'm so grateful for that relationship, or whatever I want to call it now. I was what, like 15 to 18, and I moved out of home with this person. Just absolute awful scenario. And I think with any pain point or any area where you've had trust issues and you've managed to heal from it, hopefully never have to go through that again, or experience, or just not tolerate as much lies, basically. Next, what is your Apple Watch move, exercise and stand goal? That is a good question. So if I'm being completely honest, I don't think I actually use this watch properly. So I've got up here my average exercise 66 minutes, average stand 10 hours, but this can change. It depends if I'm working from home, if I'm sat down a lot of the day. Yesterday, for example, it was raining all day long. I didn't finish my steps and I was sat down for a lot of the day. And then this morning I did my weight session, and then I did 20 minutes on the Stairmaster, kind of having known that yesterday I was super sedentary. For me as well, it's so important to make sure I'm active, especially if I'm doing like a lot of laptop work. You don't want to get too fixated on a watch because they're not 100% accurate, but they obviously can be a really useful just guideline to go off. Next is when we are hungry before bedtime, it means that we did not eat enough calories in that day. Obviously it completely depends, like if you're like a little bit hungry hungry, or if you're super, super hungry, then yeah, you may not be eating enough in that day. Obviously, it depends what circumstance, and also depends on, say, if you are trying to lose overall weight at the moment, then you might feel slightly hungry, but obviously you don't want to go into bed hungry. Like, I'm not going to be able to, especially if you're waking up hungry, then that's definitely a signal that your body is hungry. Make sure, like, listen to your intuition with your body and get to know when you do feel full. I think what I have really, really found useful is making sure I'm not distracted when I'm eating, and this could be something that you could try. So say if you're eating a meal, rather than having Netflix on or you're scrolling through Instagram, like just actually eating your meal and thinking about what you're eating and notifying like when you feel full, or like just giving yourself a chance, slowing down your eating really helps with your food signals. How is Penelope? Penelope is thriving. She is so content. She's with my gorgeous friend who has been looking after her, and I keep getting videos and she just is her same old self. So happy. She loves the winter time. That is her favorite time of the year, and I'm so excited to have her when we eventually and like properly settle somewhere. Any more juicy ones? Let me see. I don't know what this is. Someone has asked solution for knock-knee. I'll have to Google that. I don't know what knock-knee is. Oh, this is a good one. Struggling with irregular bowel movements, which is causing bloating. Any tips? Right, I'm your girl for this, because on New Year, I'll give you a little quick story time, which is, oh God, looking back now, it's funny. So I went for sushi on New Year's Eve. We went out for a meal with some friends, and I think we were talking about like wasabi and how Mason's friend Adam once ate wasabi thinking it was avocado and obviously like blew his head off. So we'd been laughing about that, and then 5 minutes later, guess who takes the biggest chunk of wasabi? And we were at Nobu, and I'm blaming it. I think the wasabi was extra strong there. But yeah, all having a lovely, lovely time. Like I feel like I'm confident using chopsticks, but I do get a bit on edge if I'm with people that like I've recently met. Anyway, so I'd gone for my chopstick with my wasabi. It must have taken a little bit too much, and then I kid you not, like ate it and just like I don't know if it came out my nose, like on at the table, and it just like my head felt like it was going to explode, and it still wasn't that much, and I hadn't mistaken it for flipping avocado. Mason was like, you definitely thought that was avocado, but I hadn't. But it was just so strong, you know, like that horseradish, like honestly I can even smell it now. I never want a repeat of that, and I'm never going near wasabi again. And it had a bit of ginger on as well. So yeah, I was just at the table like like coughed everywhere, then drank loads of water and smashed like my glass of Prosecco before I'd even drank from it. This was all in the space of 5 minutes, and then I just sort of like gathered myself back together, was very embarrassed, and then I started getting like a pain in my stomach, finished eating sushi, and then had a few drinks, and then obviously celebrated New Year's Eve. And then in the taxi home that night, I was in agony, like absolute agony in the taxi home, but I thought maybe it's because haven't drank in a while, so I thought I'll just sleep on it. Woke up the next day in excruciating pain. I've never experienced like lower abdominal pain like it. Really, really strange. So I just like chilled out for the day, was on the couch most of the day, and then it just kind of kept getting progressively worse. Left it till about 9 p.m. in the evening, and then I was Googling the symptoms, and it was really similar symptoms. Like I felt sick, I'd been sick, and didn't feel like a food poisoning thing or anything. So tried going to the toilet, couldn't go to the toilet, and then was sat there, and I can't remember, and I said, I'm gonna have to go sit in A&E, like this, something just didn't feel right. So off I went, took Mason to A&E New Year's Day, sat there for a few hours, and then they did like a scan to check if it was appendicitis. Absolutely like all clear, and then he just gave me some codeine, which is a really strong painkiller, and I think I'm really sensitive to. So I had that in the hospital, and then I felt okay, went home, slept, and then woke up that night at 3 a.m. in even worse pain. So the pain relief must have worn off. Like I couldn't move out of bed. There was no easing it. So I went back to A&E and then got given some more pain relief. They took some more blood tests. Everything came back absolutely normal. Like no inflammation in my blood at all. So just super strange. And then they just said you could just be really, really constipated and obviously had an upset stomach. So I took a laxative from Sainsbury's and then still unable to go to the toilet. And then I bought some prunes, had a whole packet, like I was not messing around. I needed to go to the toilet. Took a whole pack of prunes and absolutely fine after that. So prunes, and what else did I have? Just loads of fibre. So I'd really recommend, if you're struggling to go to the toilet, it could be something you're possibly eating or you're not including enough fibre, or you could be dehydrated as well. So make sure you're drinking loads and loads of water and just flushing everything out. And if it's something you're experiencing quite often, I'd just definitely have a look at your diet. There must be somewhere where you're lacking. Go to the doctor as well, get some blood tests just to make sure that is all clear. I started to do hip thrust and glute bridges for glute growth. What else should I do besides squats? I really love of a sumo deadlift for your glutes if you get your positioning right. Also trying out different lower body exercises that feel really good for your body. Some people don't squat at all because it doesn't feel like a natural kind of or comfortable movement. It also depends on your mobility. I would also really work on your hips, like doing some extra hip stretches just to make sure you can get full range of motion throughout your glute bridges and hip thrusts. Also, when you are doing a hip thrust, you could add like a 3 to 5 second hold on the end of your reps and just really concentrating on making sure you can feel it in your glutes. How to deal with bad body image when I keep feeling like I'm not enough. First of all, you are so enough. You're so perfect as you are, and you're so much more than your body. Please, 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 please know that. And then something practical that you could do is like a lovely exercise that I actually put a little video on my Instagram, but it was from a Kendall Jenner interview where she mentioned she did this exercise with a therapist. It may or may not sound cheesy to you, but it's been so nice. So basically you get a picture of you when you were younger, like a baby or like a toddler photo or something, and put it on your mirror in your bathroom, or like a mirror that you see every single day. Take it as a reminder, like every time you see that picture of that young girl and you have a thought or something, remember how you would never say that. You're talking to this young girl and you would never say something nasty to that younger girl. It's just been a really nice thing that I've had on my bathroom mirror for a while, and I've caught myself doing it a couple of times, and it's been a really nice exercise. So that's just one little practical exercise that I feel like will help you, and I really liked that trend. It was like a trend on TikTok with the picture. And then other things you can do, just small things, are having like little post-it notes on your mirror, which may sound, you might just think, oh, what's that going to do? But genuinely it really does help just with your body image and writing down things that you love about yourself, not always like physique based, and just trying to remember what you can do with your body, because it does tend to take things like when you're not in full health, say, or like when you get ill, you appreciate, you know, like if you've got a blocked nose, you're like, oh, I really appreciate when my nose wasn't blocked. So it's just looking at the perspective and changing and trying to work out where are you getting these negative thoughts from. Oh, guys, so that is all the Q&A questions. I feel like I'm going on for hours. Oh my God, I haven't told you guys I'm here yet. So I'm officially an auntie. I have a little nephew who makes my heart hurt. He's just the cutest little little boy, and oh my God. So I got him some little bits for Christmas that I didn't think he'd be able to fit into yet. But look, this is him. His name is Hamilton. He'll be nearly 2 weeks old, actually. Look at him.
You look cute. Are you fuming?
His little face. I can't cope. But maybe, I'm not sure if I'll have time to take... Maybe I'll take you with me to go see him later. But it's been so nice. Like, I've been home over Christmas, New Year, and then I've stayed a bit longer because obviously Hamilton's been born before I go back to Dubai, and it's just been so nice to spend time with him. I'm absolutely obsessed. Like, I could just stare at this little boy forever. Like, he's just mesmerising, and I just can't believe how quickly newborns grow, and also how full on, obviously I'm not a mum, but seeing my brother and Brogan, wow, like, it's crazy how they're pooing, eating, feeding 24/7, crying when they're newborn and stuff. I just think it's amazing how we can create life. Like, I just think women are just absolutely insane. Okay, so I thought we could make some dinner together, and one of my goals for this year has been to make sure I make one new recipe a week at least. And I thought to myself, to keep myself accountable, I wanted to place a HelloFresh order where you can get loads of different types of recipes. I tend to go for the high protein options, and they include all the ingredients and the list, which also has the macros on, so it's super convenient and easy. I've ordered one for my dad. I feel like it's going to change his life. But yeah, just to keep on top of making sure I stick to the goal that I've set, tonight I'm going to make these corn spiced salmon tacos and cumin fries with mango slaw and tomato salad. It takes between 35 to 40 minutes. If you also track your macros like myself, you can input this into MyFitnessPal because it has it all on the back. Thank you so much to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Okay, the hair is going up. I've just preheated my oven to 200 degrees. I'm just going to start by chopping up my potatoes into 1 centimetre little chunks. If we can just ignore my nails, they desperately need doing, but I've just literally been non-stop lately. I feel like January is just that crazy time of year where you've had your bit of a rest, say, and then you just feel so hyped up, as well as overwhelmed, as well as emotional. And if you're like me right now, it's my time of the month too, so emotions are high. And I don't know if we've just gone into Mercury retrograde. The moon is retrograding, I believe. I love white potatoes. I used to be obsessed with sweet potatoes, and it's definitely gone over to white potato. It just reminds me of like fish and chips, and there's just something so satisfying about them. The trick to potatoes as well is definitely spreading them out. They cook so much quicker and they go a bit crispier quicker, I find. So a sprinkle of oil, salt, pepper, and then the cumin seeds on the top. Oh, they smell really nice. And then into the oven. And I'm just putting this korma paste on top of the salmon. Oh, it smells so nice. And I'm just gonna pop the salmon in the middle shell. Mango chutney. Oh, I absolutely love this in an Indian restaurant, you know, with a papadum. So I imagine this will be quite nice actually in here. Then we're adding half sour cream. Get these. Ouch, that is hot. So this is all done. These are gonna be so nice, I can tell. They've gone all crispy, they're tortilla things that I just put in the oven for a couple of minutes. This was actually so quick to make. These look so good. I've actually never had salmon in like a taco, and these are crunchy. I can't wait to try this. So that is the salmon tacos. So quick and easy to make, and the potatoes have turned out really nice. Okay, we'll do a taste test. This is actually such a nice, like if you've got a solo night in, this would be a really nice little date night with yourself meal. I could eat salmon every single day, like definitely my favourite fish. That is so nice. You've got the crispiness, the texture, it's really fresh, the lemon makes it really nice. I want to relocate. I think from when I was cooking, I've made it so hot in the kitchen I can't sit in there. It's too hot and steamy. Just got a quick change. That salmon, so nice. That is going to be on repeat, I feel like. But yeah, I thought I'd bring you along with me to come and see my little nephew Hamilton. I've not got my vlogging camera, which is why you're on the big camera. That's the only little problemo, because it's a bit zoomed and it's a little bit hard to hold, but we'll just roll with it. I just really want to show you how blooming adorable he is. It's about half an hour drive from here, so I'm just going to head over there. It's absolutely throwing it down, so I feel like I've just cozy stuff. But yeah, I went over yesterday as well. They're probably sick of the sight of me. I just want to see him before I go back like as much as possible, and I just can't get over how quickly they change babies in general.
Hamilton. Oh, Hamilton. Open your eyes, nice and wide.
Hello. Hello. Oh, that's a nice face.
Pulling loads of nice faces.
Oh yeah.
A smile.
That's a good one. Camera's out.
These big feet you're showing off.
I'm not looking at that camera.
I've got these big strong feet.
My dad's it gone.
Just been to Leeds to pick Mason up. Oh, it's all blurry.
Yes, and now we're back home.
Back in the countryside. We absolutely love it here. Mason, talk me through what you picked up.
So, just a bit of Leon, naturally fast food, you know the deal.
This is the nicest like fast food. Oh my god.
What?
Cookies, hot. Hot.
Uh-oh. You like?
Oh my god. They're still hot. These were my favourite kind of like cookies growing up.
Guys, I'm going to let you in on a really good hack. One sec. There's a really good app called Too Good To Go. Basically, it displays all of these stores that have signed up to the app, and towards the end of the day, they list their called magic bags on the app, and you can pick them up for like half the price of what the food would be if it was during the day.
How much was this one?
That's $3.99 for like
Oh my god. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cookies.
boxes.
What? This one looks a little bit suspect.
So basically, it saves all them wasting food, and you get food for cheap.
Yeah, so we've got some bean, sweet potato and rice. That looks really nice. We also, when we were on the motorway the other day, like they tend to have these at service stations, and we got, it was like a, what was it now? A Caribbean jerk chicken wrap, which was literally the nicest wrap I've had in the longest time. So Mace missed out on seeing Hamilton tonight, but we might go back tomorrow. He's literally, he's so different now. But yeah, it's 22:11 at night. I just picked Mason up from Leeds. Going to wrap this video up here. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. If you aren't already, I'm so tired right now.